Did you think starting an e-commerce business would be easy? So did I. But after 6 years and millions of dollars in sales, I've learned that success comes from strategy, not shortcuts. I've made plenty of mistakes, but also discovered the strategies that work. To help you avoid the struggles I faced early on, here's 40 lessons I wish I had learned sooner. Starting with number 1, don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. You want to keep your store as simple as possible in the beginning, because it's all about validating a product. You learn as you go with testing. And you're not gonna get any better just watching video after video. Apply what you learn now. Get out there and start your store. Number 2, you always wanna work on sharpening your marketing skills. You don't just wanna learn one TikTok ad strategy and use that forever. You need to learn each ad platform, Facebook, TikTok, Google, and how to use each one. Then you need to follow for updates. If you're gonna sell products online, you need to become a marketing expert. Number 3, long-term brands outperform quick win stores. You wanna treat dropshipping as a stepping stone, but not your end goal. When you're creating a new store, you don't wanna be selling products from AliExpress on there forever. That's a recipe for disaster. You can find a winning product on AliExpress, you can validate that product by running ads to it, but once you start making sales on it every single day, you need to move on and find a private supplier. And you always want to focus on the long-term outlook of your brand. You don't want to be creating a new store every single month, but instead pour all of your time and dedication into just one brand. And then when you scale that up to 6 and 7 figures per month, build your next store. Number 4, failure is always a part of the process. You need to embrace it, analyze it, and improve it for next time. There's no successful person out there that hasn't endured countless failures. Most people fail thousands of times before they even get a taste of success. You're going to have products that fail, stores that never perform, ads that just flop. It's all a part of the game. But when you do find that winning product and that winning ad set, it's up to you to scale it to the moon. Number 5, you want to take calculated risks, but you don't want to gamble with your business. Now, I always think of the FedEx example. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this story in the past, but I remember hearing that early on, the founders of FedEx were in some financial trouble, and they took the last couple $1,000s they had in their business, went to Vegas and gambled it. Now, lucky for them, they actually made a ton of money and saved their business. But if this was any other business story, you would just hear about a degenerate gambler going bankrupt. Don't gamble your business, take risks, but take calculated risks. And always reinvest in your business. Now, once you start making money with e-commerce, you need to diversify your income streams for stability. You wanna start putting some money in stocks, crypto, real estate, or other assets that are going to grow in value, and have your money work hard for you. You don't just want to stick it away in a bank account where it loses value or spend it all on bullshit. Invest your money wisely. Number 7, always validate a product before going all in. I see all the time where dropshippers get emotionally attached to a product, they stick with that product, and they won't give up and move on to the next one, no matter how many signs tell them to. If you do enough testing and your product doesn't perform, it's just not a winner. But at the same time, make sure you're doing enough testing. You can't just run a $5 a day ad and then move on when you don't make any sales. You gotta find that balance. Number 8, a high quality ad creative or a video ad is always much better than a bigger budget. It's better to spend less on a good video ad than to spend more on a poor one. And overall, that's just going to give you more money to reinvest in your advertising down the line. So that's always a great way to scale. But my point from this lesson is that you want to test as many ad creatives as you can. If you're not testing 10 new ad creatives every single week, how are you going to know which ones perform well? Test and analyze and reap the rewards. Number 9, you want to learn copywriting and improve that skill with time. That's hands down the most valuable skill you can learn. You need to know this for building stores and writing product pages or designing all of your ads and getting everything set up. And if you're a bad copywriter, don't expect to make any sales. Because a lot of dropshippers, their descriptions will say my product, my product, my product. But a good copywriter tells the customer what's in it for them. That's all they care about. Instead of listing all the features and the benefits and everything that this product does, they list the outcomes and the results that the customers get. How does it actually solve their problem? Learn copywriting and use it. And that leads me to point number 10. You want to target customer emotions in your ad copy, not your product features. You can really use buyer psychology to drive more sales. So if you can create some sort of an emotional connection with your product, you'll end up with a lot more customers this way. And they'll be a lot more emotionally invested into your brand. So that way you have customers for life. Number 11, you want to focus on email marketing. It's literally a gold mine. email marketing provides the highest ROI or return on investment for any other source of advertising out there. On average, for every dollar you spend on email marketing, you'll make $36 back. Besides organic marketing, there's no better way to generate sales. Number 12, UGC ads or user-generated content performs better than those infomercials that we saw performing in 2017. And you guys know exactly what I mean. Before, you would just download countless videos of your product from AliExpress or TikTok and Facebook or anywhere you could find videos, throw them all together, create some simple graphics, and just list the features and benefits of your product. Now your customers want to connect with a real person. They want to see that real people are using your product and getting the listed benefits from it. Use UGC to your advantage. Number 13, A/B testing is essential. Do not skip it. This is non-negotiable. It doesn't matter if you're testing different ad creatives, ad copy, subject lines, landing pages, or anything similar. You want to test one variation against another to see which one resonates with your target audience the best. Changing the subject line on your email can be the difference between somebody opening it and somebody just deleting it and moving on with their day. So you always want to make sure you're testing, but also documenting what you learned from these tests. Because if you learn nothing, the test was never worth doing. Number 14, a slow loading website will kill your conversions. Shopify allows you to track your website speed, so make sure you're always doing that. Make sure your website loads pretty fast and there's no apps or images or anything else slowing it down. Because if your product pages are taking even a few seconds to load, your customers are already losing interest in leaving the page. So make sure it loads as fast as possible for them. Number 15, you always want to optimize your website for mobile users. This will be the majority of your customers. The bulk of your traffic will access your web page from their phone. So make sure your website and all of your landing pages look just as good on mobile devices as they do on a desktop, because you don't want to miss out on any sales because of the design of your website. Number 16, always add reviews to every product page you create. This increases customer confidence in your brand and as a result, conversions. 9 times out of 10, this will always result in more people buying your products. I saw a study not too long ago that said consumers treat reviews like word of mouth from a friend. So when they scroll to the bottom of a page, all the reviews that they're reading down there, they treat like it's one of their friends recommending them a product. That is huge. Take advantage of that and add reviews to every website you make. Number 17, you want to make the checkout process as simple as possible. I typically use one-page checkout for this because you want your customers to complete their order in the easiest manner possible. So just make it a few clicks and you're good to go. Number 18, you always want to add upsells to your product pages to increase your AOV or your average order value. So a lot of times you can use quantity breaks and get people to purchase multiple of your product at a time, or you can upsell similar products that are related to the one they're purchasing. Either way, this gets people to purchase more from your brand every time they place an order, and this makes your average order value go through the roof. Try this out and I guarantee you'll add extra thousands in revenue every single month. Number 19, winning products always solve a problem, pain point, or fulfill a customer's desire. You don't want to sell gimmicky products that don't do any of those. Overall, you just want to sell products that you can brand on your store that make your customers' lives easier. And if you can demonstrate that problem-solving ability in your marketing, you'll close that sale 9 times out of 10. So make sure you find products that solve customer problems and you communicate that in your marketing, in all of your ads, on your landing pages, throughout your brand. And in case you guys are looking for winning products to sell, my favorite way to find them is using a tool called Zik. You guys can see that as soon as you log in, you'll get a list of the top Shopify stores, the top Shopify products over the last 30 days, and both of these lists are updated every single day. So everything you see right here is completely up to date. You can see each product, the price it's selling for, and the amount of sales and revenue that it's generating for these brands every single month. And this is just a great way to find winners that are working for other stores. I'll go ahead and leave a link for Zik down below. You can actually get started for just $1 right now. And with that being said, let's move on to our next point. Number 20, seasonal products can always increase your revenue, but they do require careful timing. I say that it's better to focus on evergreen products to sell all year round, as trends do tend to burn out fast and then you're left with nothing. So instead of trending products, look for evergreen products, or products that can sell throughout the entire year with no seasonal influence. Number 21, dropshipping is a game of testing. Always test new products, offers, angles, creatives, variants, or anything else you can. and treat your customers' feedback like it's important, because it really is. Number 22, great customer service builds brand loyalty, but also reduces your refunds. You want to respond quickly to any customer inquiries as they pop up. And as you guys already know, speed impresses. And you guys can actually use FAQs to your advantage by putting them on all of your product pages to save time on repetitive questions. So if you guys get the same question over and over again about your product, just create an FAQ section. Then whenever customers ask you questions about that product, you can refer them to the FAQs. Number 23, you want to reinvest all of your dropshipping profits strategically. You want to track your numbers daily because ignorance is expensive. If you're not tracking your numbers, you could be losing money every single day and not know it until it's too late. So track all the metrics in your brand, but also keep an emergency fund for any unexpected challenges. You see, a lot of brands get wiped out when problems arise that they wouldn't have if they had an emergency fund. So always think ahead. Number 24, you always want to negotiate better pricing and payment terms with your suppliers. And you just want to build strong relationships with reliable suppliers. So you can shop around and see who can get you the best pricing possible, but communicate this to various suppliers because a lot of them are willing to go lower. You guys can also communicate your payment terms. You can get net 60, net 90, meaning you don't actually have to pay for these products until 3 months later. This just helps with your overall cash flow. So always be willing to negotiate and be ready to change suppliers on a dime. Number 25, you guys always want to automate when possible. This just helps free up time for your overall brand strategy. So start to hire people to help you out with your store before you're overwhelmed. But at the same time, scaling too fast can also cause cash flow problems. So use data, not your emotions, to make informed decisions about your brand. But you want to start hiring in time-consuming areas like fulfilling orders, media buying, running ads, product research. There's so many VAs or virtual assistants out there that you can hire for this. Which leads me to point number 26. Invest in good talent. It always pays off. You want to delegate the tasks that you're not skilled at to VAs, or even the tasks that you're just not interested in. And you want to focus on the areas that matter, that make you more money with your brand. And obviously you want to train every VA for your brand thoroughly. You want to make sure they understand your brand and the daily operations to get by. But at the same time, be quick to hire and quick to fire because your business is at stake. Number 27, consistent branding increases your recognition, but also your brand credibility. Share your brand story everywhere to connect emotionally with your audience, even if you make it up. A lot of times I'll have AI tools like ChatGPT come up with a full background story for my brand, and I'll use that to make our About Us page. And a lot more customers access your About Us page than you would imagine. So come up with some compelling story about your brand, the products you sell, and how you got to where you are today. You don't even have to mention anything about yourself. And if you guys want to increase sales even more, you can use sustainable practices like carbon-free shipping or donate a percentage of your order to charity. And this actually makes customers feel good about making their purchase. I've used this tactic time and time again to increase sales on many of my own brands. Number 28, the market will always change. It's up to you as a dropshipper to adapt quickly. Platforms change, demand shifts, platforms get new rules. It's always up to you to stay one step ahead. Number 29, surround yourself with other entrepreneurs for inspiration. This is called networking. You want to be around other business owners. That way you get ideas that you would have never gotten before. And if you're around a bunch of successful people in one room, it's only a matter of time until you're the next. As they say, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. So make it like-minded individuals that are also building businesses, even if you connect with them online. Number 30, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10. Celebrate every small win and you'll stay motivated, because burnout is a real thing. You need to schedule time for rest. Number 31, never limit yourself to just one country. Test international markets. Offer multi-language and multi-currency options on your website. And when you go to create your ads, you have to understand the cultural differences in marketing. You have to understand your customer demographics and who exactly it is that you're talking to. Because for example, I'll take a lot of products that are successful in the US market and I'll bring them to other markets like France, the UK, Germany, or any other countries they'll sell in. But you have to be mindful with each new market that you enter and always look at your competition around you. Number 32, you want to do your best to anticipate challenges before they happen. You need to have backup plans for your major systems, your ad accounts, your payment processors, because you could lose either one of them overnight. I see so many brands that are dependent on one ad platform or one payment processor, and then when they get kicked off Facebook ads, for example, their entire business collapses overnight. But if you have an organic approach, a Facebook ad strategy, a TikTok ad strategy, and a Google ad strategy, it's only a minor disruption because you're less likely to get kicked off of all at once. But many times you'll see single account bans every single day. That's just part of the game. Number 33, products will fail for many reasons and it's not always your fault. Like I mentioned before, never get emotionally connected with just one product. There can be many additional outside factors as to why products fail. Sometimes products will work for one of your competitors, but they'll never sell for you. And that's just for reasons you can't explain. Number 34, focus on recurring revenue models for stability. You want to sell products that offer subscriptions like monthly subscription boxes or anything similar, so that way you can accurately predict your revenue month after month. The more customers that you get to sign on to your subscription, the more money you make every month, and that's just a great business model to have. So where applicable, add memberships and monthly subscriptions to your store and watch your revenue increase every single month as a result. So for example, on some of my own brands, I've taken some of my better performing products and I've offered a 30% discount if they subscribe to them monthly. And I offer different time frames like quarterly, semi-annually, annually, and that way your customers can set it and forget it and you'll deliver their products according to their time frame. Number 35, e-commerce can teach discipline and problem-solving skills. But if you lack both of those, you're going to fail. Number 36, you always want to invest in mentors, courses, or masterminds to grow. You want to work with people that have already reached your goals and understand these systems. That way they can teach them to you and you can replicate them within your own business. I've had some of my best breakthroughs spending tens of thousands of dollars on mentors. And that's something I live by. I never stop learning, even though I'm where I'm at now, because there's always room for growth. So yes, I make millions of dollars with e-commerce, but I'm still investing in mentors and courses every single month. And I advise all of you guys to do the same. Number 37, success comes from consistency, not shortcuts. If you show up every single day and do what needs to be done, you will get there. But if you're following shortcuts and get rich quick strategies and expecting to become successful, here's your reality check. You won't. Do what needs to be done, show up every single day, and never stop learning. And consistency will get you to where you want to go. Number 38, it's better to build a long-term business than it is to chase trends. Focus on long-term growth over short-term success, and it will be very rewarding down the line. Number 39, focus on providing real value, not just making money. So when you find problems in the market that your products can solve, make sure your customers have all the resources to solve their problem. For example, you can increase the value of your offer by adding additional resources like ebooks, courses, guides, checklists, or anything similar. Say you guys are in the fitness niche and you're selling some at-home workout equipment, you can include free guides like nutrition guides or weight loss hacks with your product, and since this increases the value of your overall offer, you can actually increase the price of it as well. So you can get away charging 10 times more than your competition selling the exact same product. But you always want to focus on providing value to your customers, not just making money from them. And as a result, you'll make insane amounts of money from them because everyone has problems and everyone's ready to pay to solve those problems. And number 40, e-commerce is a marathon, not a sprint. You always need to continue learning even as you hit milestone after milestone, because you're not going to reach your next goal without learning how to get there. And I see too many dropshippers get complacent when they start to make real money. They get to $100,000 a month, they get comfortable, and they don't want to grow anywhere else from there. But then you have other sellers that scale it to millions of dollars every month. The only difference between those sellers is consistency. So my most important takeaways from those lessons: show up every single day, put in the work, and never stop learning. If you do all three of those, success is right around the corner for you. And I know because I'm a living example of this. Those are the most important lessons I've learned over my 6 years of dropshipping. Start applying these today so you don't make the same mistakes I made along the way. You can make a great living with e-commerce, but you have to put in the work. There's no other way around it. If you found any value in this video, consider leaving a like, sharing it with others, and subscribing for more. I have a ton of helpful resources down below to help you get started with dropshipping and make your first few sales. Don't miss out on any of those. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.